Good afternoon, good evening to my Niger Watch family across the globe. How are you doing? Yes, we are back again. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Guys, do well to like the broadcast, share, invite someone on to the broadcast. Even better, guys, always have your notification bell turned on. So for every time Niger Watch goes live, you would be notified. Yes, guys, in the comment section, the link has been posted. Trust me, you want to join in for these conversations, the conversations of today. You want to join in for these conversations. Yes, please do well to let your people know that we are back and we have to talk about these things. We have two stories amongst others in the rave of the moment with what is happening in our country right now. Guys, let us sit down and analyze these things. Mary Kimade, well, am I excited to read from you? How are you? Where have you been? Good to have you on the broadcast. Welcome to each and every one of you. Jude, how are you doing? Good morning to you too. Thank you for being here. And to my esteemed panelists, Brother Nice, thank you for being here. It's good to have you here. Thank you very much. Welcome into the studio. Do well to like this broadcast, share, and invite someone on to the broadcast. And also do well to show some love today. Yes, by clicking on the dollar sign. Thank you. Really, really good afternoon to you too. How you doing? Good to have you on the broadcast. Good to have you too on the broadcast. Quickly click on the link, come into the studio. Let us all talk this thing. Let's have a good conversation. Yes, yes, yes. If you know you are going through life or life is happening to you and you feel like the worst person on earth right now, or you feel like a total failure, this broadcast is also for you. Come in and let us give you a thousand and one reasons not to give up on whatever it is you're doing and to keep your head up there. And we are going to also give you a reason, right? Um, how to respect what it is that you do, especially and now this is for those that are into legitimate stuff. Yes, whatever it is that you're doing, keep doing it. Consistency is key. Do not be pushed by society, by material things, by norms. No, do not be pushed by it. All of these things, the Bible rightly says that there is a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end is always destruction. The end is always destruction. Osage Festus, how you day? It's good to have you on the broadcast. Thank you for being here. If you're just coming in, come on, guys, waiting for you. Do well to click on the link. Do well to like the broadcast. Do well to share the broadcast. Invite someone. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Brother Nice, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Bonjour, bonjour. Ça va?
Bonjour, Sava. Welcome to the broadcast again. Good to have you here, sir. In a minute, we would begin. So, Brother Nice, on the chat we just right. So, let's have a little back-to-back talk. I will be posting a picture on here very soon. Just a minute, please. Okay, but pasting the picture just here. I'm sure we are following the story, but I would like to take us back to something that happened February 22nd of February this year, 2022. Yes, I'll be taking us back for us to have an understanding of what I'm saying or where I'm coming from. But yes, I have my person on here. Osagovo, how are you doing? Good afternoon to you. Thank you for being here. And of course, Mommy Diaspora, one love to you too, Mama. Thank you. We all say one love to you, Mama. Thank you for being here. All right, now let's take this story. Now, if you remember when this bust happened, I hope if you remember when this bust happened, that's from Punch says five feared dead in NDLEA Lagos raid. Drug kingpin, six others arrested. And so if you backdate this, it happened in February. Okay, it says 27th. Okay. This article carries 27th of February 2022. Now, there was tension on Lagos Island. This happened on Lagos Island, and there was tension because people were wondering what's happening. They are shooting on Lagos Island. People were not very sure what was happening, but when normalcy was restored in that community, the NDLEA, the Punch, the social media, mainstream media, they all carried the news that there was a raid, and it was quite a raid. Where they arrested, and what we have on the picture are the proceeds of the raid. The men, the area saw lots. I tried to bring on a video or on here, but I just couldn't. The picture, the video had in short, there was this raid and gun and what do they call this? Stray bullets killed an innocent person. Then so these other five were intended because they gave it a good fight. I mean, that's their life's worth. That's everything that they've worked for, and they were coming for them. And of course they gave it a good. Now they didn't have weapons to fight back, but they were running, and they were throwing things at them, and they came out in mass to fight. Yeah, they came out in mass. At some point they were even chasing after the police. The police were firing from afar until they were able to clear the area. They came closer into their domain, and they picked as much as they could. And of course, they had to surrender to the police because the police overwhelmed them. There were so much. Now, that happened. Even though Nigerians reacted to that because they said the straight bullets could have done more harm than it did, and it was reckless, and they came in without the warrant, all of those things. People had one or two things to talk about. Now that happened for I would say minor bust, yes, because they've had bigger operations than that. That was a minor bust, and now this happened Lagos Island. The story we just the picture I just shared, and now there was this that happened in Ikorodu. Lagos NDLEA seizes cocaine worth $278 million in Ikorodu, arrests 4 barons in historic bust. While this is something that we should take in, right? Yes. Now, this act or this bust has been questioned. Let's take this comment from this person. Okay, just a minute, please. All right, Eve, we have it now. It says you don't keep $250 million worth of hard drugs in Ikorodu of all remote places. Even though Ikorodu is one rough and tough zone. If we remember Ikorodu to be a rough and tough zone. This is where they were killing people. I've forgotten the name of these boys that would go into the home and kill. They were not killing people. They were killing families. That's one high rate where you have the ritualist den. Ikorodu has always been a place that is highly unsafe. That even the police, it took what do they call this? It took their vigilante. It took the traditional worshippers, the obas. It took them to curtail that. The police could not do anything. They had to bring, literally, they had to bring their juju people. It was almost like Africans, we are backward. What is this? But now we still work at the end of the day. Be that though. That's how they were able to stop all those ritual killings. I don't know if they went to meet all their Ifa or these people, the traditional worshippers. They had to go bring all of them out, and they had a talk with them, and that was how they were able to chase these people out of their land. So you are going to have such huge amount of drugs in this place, and there was no security whatsoever of all remote places, and not guided with not just small but heavily armed militia. You are on the lookout from both rivalry dealers and from the law boss. None of the two will visit you without violence. My final submission that got me thinking was the last picture posted by NDLEA. $250 million in cocaine and crack, and not one single pistol or AK-47 was found on the property or on them. The Jamaica even fold hand, they smile. Yes, and that's the picture. That's the tall dark guy in the picture. Let me give a clearer picture. That's the picture of the people that was arrested. While I was watching the video, if you go to watch this video, this man was at some point was even smiling. The man in yellow was smiling at some point. Look at these people, they look really relaxed. Yes, they look really relaxed. If you look at the other picture, this other picture from the Lagos Island raid, nobody has a swollen eyes. It's just like they just start there, and those people came in and they say, okay, just take. We don't want voila. What? 200 and how many millions was come on? Nothing happened to anybody. These people are all so chilled, like nothing is happening. Almost like make una do it I want to. We know who go. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? The reaction that they don't even look like they're in trouble. They are not scared. They are not worried. They have no fear whatsoever. Now, this is the other picture. That's the other picture. Or the same one with but let's finish with this one. So how do you bust 280 plus million worth of cocaine and not a single shot was fired? Nobody was crazy, harmed, and protecting such. Even trap houses don't go down that easy, to be very honest. Something doesn't add up. Small marijuana they busted in Lagos Island. We saw how much chaos those guys chopped. Full resistance, gunshot, and five old people died ready to protect their stash. It can't be coke plus crack cocaine that went down with no resistance. Something doesn't add up. Now, a lot of people have agreed to this submission. Yes, a lot of people has agreed to this submission. So my panelists, Brother Nice, let's begin with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so very much. Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, Brother Nice.
Yeah, I greet all my co-panelists and the people at the comment section. Yeah, I saw that video before, So the tall guy in the black jeans and the black t-shirt, the slim tall guy. I think the guy is from Jamaica anyway. So he's not a Nigerian citizen, he's a Jamaican citizen. So for me, it's just like a stage business, it's like stage business. So I don't really believe it's our police that just find those people, get them arrested and said no. It's just like our police knew about that business. So maybe something went wrong, then they just decided to bring them out to tell Nigerians that they get those people arrested. These things have been going on for long. So many people knows about it. You understand? Our police and all, they knew about it. You cannot tell me that with this quantity of this kind of drugs, then you will arrest only 5 people controlling this kind of drug without no weapon, they don't have any soldiers, any lookouts, they don't have any weapon with them. This one is just like a stage. This thing. Go to Mexico, the drug that is not even up to this, people will die for it. In US, how much more this kind of quantity of drug?
I think you are going too far, even saying that they should go to Mexico. I just shared the one that happened on Lagos Island. Yeah, and the stash is nothing compared to this. I mean, then they were dealing with marijuana. This one we are talking about crack cocaine, and this is, and if you even see the way all these people went, they were well dressed. I saw a woman around, fully what they are raiding a drug house, and you are dressed like you are going to a party. What are you possibly going to be doing there? Because they're supposed to give it a good fight.
I'm telling you, these people, they are this person colleagues. What's the name of that man? That man they're supposed to extradite to America. What is his name? That our police that they
Diary.
are. Those are Kayari clients. You understand? So they cannot deceive us. All those Kayari, all those police that went there, all of them they knew about this business. So they can't fool us. So that is just that. They said they have been on this trail for almost about I don't know how many years, 3 years or 4 years. Then they have been trying to locate these people to this before they found them here. So that one is just cook and boost story for Nigerians, to tell Nigerians. It's just a lie. This our police, Abakari and all of them. You, if I tell if you even investigate Oshipopi will know those guys. Abakiari, Oshipopi, all of them, they know each other. They know those guys. So this thing has been existing for Nigeria for a very long time. What our police, when they get their share, they let everything go. So you don't see our people, all our citizens, they are into drugs. All those things, our people have been using it for a long time. But we just expect that when the good government comes to power, they need to sanitize our police outfits so that all those armed robbers that is in our police and the military and all, they need to sack all of them before we have a better society. If not, corruption in that country is all sector. Corruption is in all sector. I will tell you, even these people you are seeing now, I think you are the one that say that they are not even worried because they know these people have already fed our security police with a lot of money. If they take them to station now, before you know it, to court, before you know it, they will release them again. They will give money to bribe the judge and all of them. All of them will go free. You will not hear about this case anymore.
All right.
So
But
if you
this
want to,
even goes on to say how alarming the drug use in Nigeria is.
yeah, that's what we need to
It
be
is a
worried
lot.
about. This is what we need to be worried about. This is the reason why, if you see all those court boys, the way they push up people, you will be asking where these people get that kind of art. These are the instruments they are using. Anybody that take this kind of thing, you don't have conscience anymore. That is why when you see they separate people's head from their body, it's not with their ordinary eyes. Ordinary eyes cannot do that. Those are the things that do those things. So when all those baron that is in the head of those cultists, when they give those things to those young boys, that is why those young boys have that mind to do evil. You know. So our society is in big problem.
All right, very nice. Thank you for your submission. If you are just tuning in, welcome to the chat on Niger Watch. Do well to like this broadcast, share, and invite someone onto the broadcast. Come into the comment section and let us talk. With all of this that we are seeing here, is this a strategy? Somebody is obviously, apparently making money off, you know, useless in people's lives, so to say. Somebody is cashing out big time doing this. How goodness gracious, Mr. Collins, good evening to you. How you doing?
Good evening. Happy New Week. And how are you doing as well?
And well, thank you very much, sir.
Okay. I jumped John in not long ago. So you're talking about this bust that NDA did, right?
Yes, do you think this is real or you think it is staged?
You know, honestly, I don't know how to say about it because for you to find the large of this kind of a drug in a person's house in this kind of environment and like you said, nothing happened. Everybody just look comfortable. Police just come and arrest everybody and then just comply without any resistance. Everybody just follow the whole due process. With the large of cocaine here, I don't think even if it's in even the small one people have in their bag in airport, you see how people struggle to even to defend themselves. Now imagine when you have something like this. So for somebody to have this kind of large of cocaine, you have to know the kind of security that person will be moving with. So there is supposed to be a security people that at least if they show that they arrested people, the security, At least when you find out the security, they say they have submitted their gun or anything, I can be a little bit understanding. But looking at the whole thing, I feel like it's stage stunts. And at the end of the day, go tomorrow. Try to if you are a journalist, that is why I said in Nigeria, journalists don't work in Nigeria. People should follow up the story. Let's find out where this thing is going. Show us the whole thing, because at the end of the day, go back there tomorrow and ask them that you want to see this thing. You won't see it. They will return it back to the owner. And then everything will just happen as usual. So for me, I feel it's a stage stuff. So it's not real. They just want to at least to get people talking. So at least let people praise. NDA is working. So let's praise them. They are working, but they are not working. They are not working. I just have to submit there for now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Collins. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast, each and every one of you. Please do also like this broadcast. The likes on the broadcast is very, very, very low. Please do well as you watch. Just click or tap on the thumbs up right there on your screen. Please, thank you. And coming to the comment section, I am asking, do you think that this bust is real, or you think this is all just staged? And how worrisome is this to know that we Nigerians, we have, there is such huge market of this in Nigeria. Is this what is used to distract the youth? What is happening? And we need to begin. These drugs are not taken by outside. These drugs are taken by my brothers, my sisters, myself, you, all of us. Yes, no exemption in this. I mean, for them to have this much, it means it is a thriving business. Nobody would plunge millions of dollars into a business that, that is not making this much. And how did this go past the customs? And it is said to be transported to other countries like Asia, the US. So how do they carry all these things? It's scary to know that these people that are supposed to be checkmating these things, and why? This is a lot. This is actually a lot. Mr. Chubuzo, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, how are you, Emma?
I am doing very well. Thank you very much. Let's catch a reaction, sir.
All right, and good day, everyone listening. Yeah, this is what I wanted to highlight before you said, no, this is the time we're supposed to be talking about this. Well, what you see there, it's not a stage something, it's real. And the more of it is still stuck in somebody's house as we're speaking. It's a very common thing in Nigeria. And Nigeria should stop advertising such catch. Because what happens is when you advertise such a thing, some people who doesn't understand what this thing means, and when you are talking about the street value of this thing, now that will motivate some people who doesn't even know about all this kind of drug. It will motivate them to go into it. Nigeria should stop advertising it. It's not good. Why I say it's not good, because I remember in 1984, when Buhari took over, then start assassinating and killing people caught with such illicit drug. Then, when such a thing was happening, a lot of innocent Nigerians that doesn't know what is really happening now pick it up and say, oh, if this thing can cause such a thing, it's better I die than to, than to stay in Nigeria and be looking. Let me go into it, regardless of what happened, regardless of the risk. So, and that thing make people become aware of something they are not supposed to know about. So actually, it's not too good to advertise it, because I call it advert. It's not about telling people whether it's good or not. So, but the country that we are in is a country that law and order does not work. That thing came from, whether it's a ship or aeroplane, that thing came past custom. And most custom that see such starch, they knows about it, and the order come from above, and they know who give them that order, until whistleblower now hit on it. Now whoever that is, it DSS or police now go there for arrest. you know. But that,
NDLEA.
yeah. So, but that will not stop the traffickers not to do their job. It will even increase the more because people are desperately need money because of lack of no job. People can do anything to survive, even kill themselves to survive. So, what Nigeria is doing right now, for me, that advert they're doing there is completely wrong. Completely wrong. You don't know the gravity of that thing they are displaying on the internet. You don't know what it means, you know. So what happened is the consumers. You talk about traffickers. Now you talk about also the consumers. Who is the consumers of all these illicit drugs? Is it Nigerians? Is it this thing gonna be exported abroad? If it's Nigerians, that means we are the consumers. So how are you going to educate the consumers? Because most of these people who consume this thing does not work. They are not doing anything. And this thing are supplied to all these bandits, all kind of terrorist group, because that is where they get their energy to do all kind of atrocity they want to do. Because when they're into this drug, they can do undoable. So what Nigeria is supposed to do is, it's not about advertising or condemning somebody, but the kind of people you put in the airport, the seaport, these are the people you will be looking into. Know the kind of character these people possess. And how are you going to secure, make sure that these people did not engage? How are you going to do that? Because if I'm a custom man, if you give me one bag of that thing, I will let you go. Why I will let you go? Because my salary for the whole maybe 10 years, I will not be able to make the money I will make sell on that one bag of that thing. So these are another part of security you'll be checking on, because those custom, how much are you paying them? How how are you going to secure them so that they cannot be able to take bribe? You know, because if you see such amount of drug coming in inside the country and they give you money, definitely you'll be tempted to let it go because it's none of your business. Whatever happened there is their own business. So the connection behind this thing is on top. It's not those people. Those people you see there, when you look at their physiques, you can see that these people, they're just runs men. They don't have any stake on those markets. But now the big chief, the baron himself, is sitting up somewhere. They never ever get him arrested. What they are displaying to us here is the run boys. They never get the people who are who authorize this thing to come inside Nigeria. They never get them, and nobody is talking about them. What we are talking about is the people they arrest, and those people they arrest are they don't have stake. They only secure this thing and guide it. So then, when you talk about why they didn't react, these are smooth, what I call smooth criminals. They don't need to carry gun to protect their stuff because they are already protected from the top. So what's the need of carrying gun for what? Look at the hammer, look at the quantity of that thing. That thing passed a seaport, that thing passed airport, and there was no escort on it. So coming inside the house, how do you want them to guide it again? So the whole matter lies on the top. The top people are the one in charge, and the people must hold them accountable. Make sure that they interrogate those guys. Those guys can be able to give names, because believe me, if care does not take, most of them that are supposed to give name, they may shut them down. So this is where they're supposed to act actively, not to display to us. Show us these kind of people that we have caught them. Those people you see there, when you look at them, you know that these people they don't even have the power. They never even eaten for them to paddle such a starch, you know. So they
All
need
right.
to dig more deeper so that they can catch the engineers behind all these things. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Chubuzo, I want to take you on something. You and Mommy Diaspora said something in sync. That is, she said the very first thing to do is to give our policemen good salary. But how much is good enough? I mean, if we are going to compare it with people that are into illegal business, of course, they will always pay you 10 times your salary, they'll pay you what you will make in there. So is this even a function of what you are earning at the moment? I mean, drug
No,
money,
yeah, let me
are not
highlight
really
on that let me highlight it quick. Let me tell you, when you are in a public servant, you have responsibility. And those responsibility while you are a public servant is housing and transportation. And if you cannot secure this thing, because what happened in Nigerian system is we don't have every civil servant, most of the civil servants don't have responsibilities. And because they don't have responsibilities, it's very easy to bribe them out. Because if you have responsibility, when the bribe comes, you said, why should I collect this bribe? If I lose my job, that means I can lose my house, I can lose my car. But because you don't have responsibilities, that's why you can do that. Even though they sack you, you say, it's okay, I can go elsewhere and do something. So what happens is government need to pay them a proper salary that support house loan, transportation allowance, house allowance. They must have this. Because if you don't have this as a public servant, you work all the whole of your life. You don't achieve anything. You are working for nothing. So the only people who gain it the most is those people in the high places. So this is where this corruption is based on. Because if you have responsibility, as I mentioned, it's very hard for you. You negotiate their bribery. You have to negotiate it very carefully, because if you make mistake, they cut you. You lose everything that you are working for. So this thing you see here is nothing. It's just because they just display it here. If you see where if you come to South Africa where I stay, when you see when there is a drug bust, then you will know that this is a minor. You understand? But government will handle it with care. It's not their own people doing it actually, it's other foreigners that are doing it, but they handle it with very carefulness. But in Nigeria, they display, look at those men they are showing me on the TV. Look at them, just look at them. Look at them properly. You can see that these people got nothing to do with this. These are the people they bring to display. They are the one. But there's somebody who is behind this. So salary, I'm telling you, is very important in the leadership. If we don't correct this thing, and that is why you see us soon, they are still going on strike as we are speaking. All these things matters a lot. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chubuzo. Mr. Chooks, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for being here. I also want to say welcome to Chukwu Obedient. Thank you for being here. Please drop your submissions in the comment section as I will be tending to them. All right, Mr. Chooks, you think this is fake or you think this is a real deal? All right, man of prestige, good day to you, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, Emma, good morning. Oh, well, it's good morning over here in US. Good afternoon in Nigeria. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for being on this broadcast.
Good. Nice to have me on this platform. Yeah, I think I just joined in, but I think I pretty much got a little bit of what you're talking about. You're talking about the drug boss. I think I saw that last week. So there has been people out here, speculating whether it's rare or just, in my opinion, I think it's legit, because what reason would they have to highlight it or to bring it out in that form? Because if it is something about terrorists they are bringing out, of course, we don't have any account. I'm sorry, good morning. We don't have any account how they get the terrorists or whatever. I would think that would be political. But in terms of this drug, I think it's rare. I don't see anything that we tell me that it's not rare. But in America, I mean, I'm sorry, in Nigeria, anything possible. So I believe it's rare. I mean, the drug bust is a lot, in terms of Nigeria. But over here, somebody said in South Africa, those are very minor in terms of. So they do the right thing for busting those. They may not be the kingpin, but they collaborate. They're part of the gang that accomplished for this drug bust. So bringing them to a public, like somebody says, like advertising. I beg to differ a little bit in terms of being an advertisement. That is, if they advertise it, it's not good for the country. Come on now, everybody in the country know about drug bust. I mean, drug and everything. So I don't see anything being advertised about it that is not good. I think It's supposed to be a deterrence if it's been advertised like this, so that people will know if you venture into something like this that is going to be detrimental to you, to your life and everything. So in my own opinion, I think it's a deterrence form to advertise it and let people know that this is a dangerous, this is illegal. If you are caught, you're gonna pay for it. So that's the way I see it in that form. I think it's legit. In my opinion, I have no reason to doubt it. It's not
All
like
right.
it's not like terrorists or whatever.
You said that they don't have a reason to, but I tell you, lately they have been in the news as they've been pointing fingers at a particular presidential aspirant that is alleged to be involved big time into drugs, and Nigerians have been questioning the mainstream media that why are they not picking the story, even when there's a foreign journalist who picked up that story and shared that one of the current presidential candidates is into big time or was into big time, and that story just fell to the ground even when a lot of materials to work with should anybody want to dug further, but none of that has been done. But the NDLEA even came under scrutiny when they made MC Oluomo one of their ambassadors. I don't know if you're familiar with that name, MC Oluomo.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar. I mean, I grew up in Lagos, but not when I was in Nigeria. It wasn't a prominent figure. I call it notorious. Like it is right now. But I'm familiar with
Okay.
with him. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so in your words, notorious. So now, NDLEA having somebody like that as their ambassador, they've been asking questions and say, if you are using these people, how credible? And not even up to weeks. So while all of this back and forth has been going with Nigerians and the NDLEA, we get to see this, that they are going to give, or they put this out that they raided, and they tracked down or clamped down on that's the most historic drug cocaine bust ever in Nigeria. So I think that's why some Nigerians, or most Nigerians, are questioning the authenticity of this raid
So, Emma, let me ask you: this is the biggest ever
in
from what you
Nigeria.
on? Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. This is
Wow.
historic, and it went down without a
Okay.
fight. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I think I heard about what you just said about one of the presidential candidates, which I'm not going to name here because it's not validated. That was
Yes.
involved in drug or something like that. Yeah, I heard about it, but how come this one was bust? That's one thing about Nigeria, about Nigerian journalists. I call them very pandemic. Because they don't investigate him. We don't have investigative journalism in Nigeria. Only person that I really like, of course, he's not in that space for investigation, is FAUX. But the other ones, they pander to the politicians. Of course, everybody belongs to a different party. I mean, even here where I am, you belong to a different party. But when it comes to a space of news or investigation, you have to do your job. Forget about your party affiliation. Nobody who doesn't belong to any party, but you don't have to come out and say you belong to. But the way the Nigerian news people, I mean, like they're scared. I don't think they're scared. I believe because they are all chorus, they belong to different party, they benefit, they don't want to talk about what's going on. So that's the problem with Nigeria. I'm hoping a day will come, maybe in my own generation, where we can get away from that space, but it's going to take a long time. Nigeria is just, I don't know the word to use, I don't want to use but the word I have in mind, but I just let it stay like that. It's not
All
a good
right.
place. Yeah, thank you. I
All right,
appreciate the
man of
opportunity.
Prestige. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for being on this broadcast. I appreciate your time here. Please join us always. Mr. Chooks, are you back? All right, Mr. Goodman. Hi, Mr. Goodman. Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm good, Emma. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, greetings to everyone. Nigeria, all is to me, I have a different view. I think this is just they plan something. Nigeria is I don't know how to classify Nigeria. We know Nigeria is a movie, but a category of movie that we don't know if it's a comedy or horror movie or action movie. Nigeria is just a movie. Honestly, that's
The
it's just the
director of the
category.
movie doesn't want to stay one place.
Honestly, we keep jumping from horror, terrorist horror, to come to comedy, then come to action, fighting police. Nigeria is Look, the first time I saw this drug thing, I was just laughing. The way the man came up and the man with his fat tummy, it is because standing there to be saying everything that happened, that these people have been tracking them since 2018 up to this time. My question is, they didn't tell us, the packaging of this drug, is it packaged from where it's coming from? They move it to Nigeria, or they package some in Nigeria? Because if they package some in Nigeria, that place that they busted doesn't look like where they package drug. It's just a warehouse they put things. They come out and break the things outside and tell us, after putting it outside, they now brought what they call it, trailer, and start shipping from outside. They're not from the warehouse. From outside, they've just arranged it outside and brought in one big trailer, and people start moving it. Nigeria is just, I don't understand.
Because it was kept so neatly. The compound,
That is
everything is so neat.
that is what I'm saying. It was just
you
arranged.
Don't have things flying about. Come on. And all the entourage on that street.
They think we are stupid, or they think we are just bring something outside in front of a house, arrange it neatly, and put one trailer outside, and we package moving it and telling us they busted a drug. Is that where they put? Is that the kind of place they operate drug dealing? Are we stupid? A drug of this magnitude, you're telling me that they busted. Okay, we're tracking them since 2018, and everybody, you want us to clap for them, and we are not asking themselves this kind of thing happening. They said the highest in Nigeria, the highest, and we are not asking ourselves, why is the media people not following up? A thing like this happening in a country, this is going to be headline news for weeks upon weeks until they see the bottom of, until the citizens see the bottom of it and see those people being arrested, taken to court and everything. But what happened? They've gone to the media and threatened them. Don't just keep calm. Don't say anything about it. So they learn to do their shenanigans. And sometimes they don't do this thing for us. They think they do this thing for the international community. So like Nigeria is not a corrupt country, and now since they're asking for them to forgive them their debt, so we can forgive them now. They are working now. Probably we can just forgive them their debt so they can carry on with their good job. This is what, and they think these white people are stupid. You say drug. You not even tier one open. Let's see the kind of drug. Like if it's white or green or brown, you just package it and come and tell us that you were busted drug. To me, this is just the managed thing they do to make us even to put people there. And even if you see the man is talking, one of those who arrested want to speak. I say, I'm not talking to you. Relax. This is just I don't know, Emma. Nigeria, I keep saying Nigeria is a movie. We are just watching movie. But the thing is, when the comedy one come, we laugh. If the action one come, we say it's tough. When the horror one come, we get pity. Because Nigeria is where they do ritual, horror ritual. We see it. When terrorists attack, we see the action. Now this one is a comedy. We just laugh because this is a bunch of losers deceiving themselves, think they are doing us. That's my take, Emma. Don't believe all those.
Thank you. The good people of Nigeria are hearing you. Thank you for your submission. Thank you to everyone on here in the comment section. Tunanja, I see you. Thank you. Tunanja says there are a lot of people doing a great job out there. The officers that arrested these traffickers earn less than ASU lecturers. If the officers were on strike, Nigeria would be less safe today. Okay. And it says, hope our professors of strike can understand the importance of service and the greater good. Okay. Mr. Tunanja, thank you for your submission. Thank you to Jeku Obedient. Jeku says, many things can be stage managed in Nigeria. This is our Nigeria. Yes, Mr. Tunanja, you came on to say, LOL, seriously at Ima, Tinubu with traffic drugs at this time. Oh, tell me, are you trying to say something, Mr. Tunanja? All right. Okay, greetings to everybody. Let's just move on with the story. Mr. Chooks, I hope you are still with us.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, then, please take it away.
All right. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you all the panelists and everyone watching us. I say Nigeria is, I had your introduction, before you left the newspaper review, You said there was a movie. And I'm coming here to watch a movie. Yeah, you see, Nigeria is a joke, and it shames those who are outside Nigeria. I must tell you this. You know, sometimes you start a conversation with your colleagues, you know, and you don't know where that conversation is leading, and you know, you have your heart in your hand, you know, let it not lead to Nigeria, because if it does, I bet you the way you will leave that place, except if you are Niger boy, the one that doesn't fear nothing, you know, you can come out with it. You know, the truth of the matter is this, right? Only God knows who and who that is involved in this case, because something you told us, you've been following these people for over 2 years, right? And you are busting that. No journalist, TV stations. You know, we live in a Western world where this kind of action happens, right? As long as it's something you've been following them, you know, on the day of the busting, you can't be a witness to your own case. No, you can't be a witness to your own case. You have to bring in people. You have to bring in different people so that they come and witness this. You
Oh,
know,
Mr. Chooks,
yeah.
it was almost like a party there. Oh. You needed to have seen all of them well dressed, like they were going for some serious occasion.
Listen, yeah. You see, I don't care how they're dressed, right? If they are there, if they are there with journalists,
They were there with journalists.
like which kind of journalist? Is it not
I think
pre-recorded?
no. Well. In the footage, the videos that were shown, you had journalists interviewing, asking questions that
No,
were
what
being
I mean,
answered.
right? You see, when this kind of thing happens here, I live in the UK, right? If they want to bust a gang of that magnitude, right? They will come with their national TV. When I say national TV, in fact, their most senior investigative journalists in that national TV will be there. This is what I'm trying to say to you. Okay? So, you see, I see this as the last speaker said it as it is, right? It's about international politics, because they said America has been sponsoring them to do this job. Okay? So probably they've been taking money from America. So now America say, hey, you're about to leave office, right? How about that money? Account for it. And they come up with this kind of stories. This is my own thinking. Because there's no way, right? You're going to do that. A notable investigative journalist supposed to be there. Ask questions. Whether, I watched the video. You say, I'm not talking to you. It was journalists that were supposed to be asking both the police and those individuals at the court questions, not them speaking. This is what we got. This is what we got. Yeah, the first thing you stand there and say, hey, this is what we got. This is what we got. Now over to journalists. Do you have any questions? And journalists will do their biddings. So Nigeria is, I mean, poor man, they don't do drugs. They don't do drugs. Even if you see a poor man trafficking drug today, he's doing it for somebody. He's doing it for somebody. This is how it's known in other communities. Because when they see people who are selling on the street, they're not interested in those people. They are interested in those who sent them. Because they knew drugs is not a cheap thing. They knew somebody must have been sponsoring you. So all they do is follow you until they get to the bottom of the whole thing. So it comes to the question I've been asking about our journalism. Our journalism has gone down so much. And I give you an example, Emma, right? It's the likes of Gumi, Sheikh Gumi, right? The likes of Sheikh Mahdi, right? To come
Mr. Chooks? Please, if anyone can hear him talking, please let me know in the comment section, or I move on to someone else.
I can't hear him.
All right. Mr. Chooks, we seem to have lost you there, so please try again.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
can...
Sorry. Yeah.
All
So,
right.
you know,
Please round up
I've
your
been
submission, sir.
asking questions about journalism in Nigeria. Journalism is dead in Nigeria today. And I give you an example. The likes of Sheikh Gumi, Sheikh Humadi, for them to continue to appear on our television, right, tells you everything you need to know about these people called journalists. Because they knew these people have no credibility. They knew that. Okay, I watched this man that does this in investigative journalism in TVC. I watched him talk about Sheikh Humadi, right? And I was asking, is it today he knows that Sheikh Humadi has no credibility to speak on any issue in Nigeria, and yet they're bringing them on television? All right, why are they bringing them on television? To come and cause confusion, cause commotion, because they know these people, when they speak, because of the section of the country they come from, nobody will doubt them. Nobody will think any evil about them, because they have the people that are supporting them. So we all need to wake up and question our journalism, question our government, and because all these things me and you are discussing here. Just 1 second, right? All this me and you are discussing here wasn't supposed to be our duty. Our journalists supposed to go down and tell us who are involved in this. Okay? They're supposed to go down and tell us who is involved in this and follow this case until its logical conclusion. That's where I will end it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chooks. Thank you. Thank you to every other one watching this broadcast. Thank you for being here. Welcome once again. Please do also like this broadcast, share, and invite someone onto the onto the platform. And guys, also do well to click on the dollar sign. Please send me a super sticker or a super chat. Please, thank you very much. Mr. Van Maxwell, it's been a really, really long time. Good afternoon, and how are you?
Good afternoon, Stema, and good afternoon to all our panelists and those that are watching us. I hope that my voice is coming out clear today.
I think it's manageable.
Oh my goodness, I do not know. Other platform is clear, but I don't know why it is not clear here.
Did you try the idea that was proffered last week to YouTube?
Yes, I've done that. I've updated, I've changed. I was using the other one, but I'm using Chrome now. I don't know why it's still not coming out.
Let's catch a reaction to the cocaine bust in just 2 minutes, please.
When you talk about these illicit drugs, from where I stand, I would tell you that there is no way such volume of drug will be discovered without most of the big time news or television stations coming out to cover them. And my question I asked the day I saw this was that such amount of drugs is kept in a particular place. There was no security. The people had no means of even protecting their drug, their consignment, and it was just they went in there, arrested them and captured the whole thing the way they did. I said before in the comment section earlier today that it is a script that they are, they wrote for themselves, that they are playing for us. That is what we have seen. You see, if you look at in the past what happened during the Legiwa issue, it was as a result of this. When you look at these people, I discovered that they could not send or distribute this drug and the how it is everywhere now is being monitored. It is not easy for someone to just move around with drugs right now, unless it is in solid connivance with most of the people that are on top. So I believe that they couldn't. It is within the security, operatives. They have a very serious questions to answer as regard to that drugs. Because for me, you cannot just arrest such drugs without any fight from those that
All
owns
right.
the drug. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your submission. Thank you to my panelists. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking out time, to discuss the affairs in the country. Thank you. Let's take this other story now. This story should not just be. Now, this story should, we should look beyond it being just. We should look beyond it being justice should prevail. Let's apply this story to the things that we do in life. Life happens to people. We could plan something, and it just so happens that we don't fall into those plans because life happens. Whatever it is that you are doing, you could feel like life is not going on right for you, or you have failed yourself. Just keep your head high up there. If you're doing something, albeit little, don't let anybody make you feel little in whatever it is that you are doing right now. If you continue, you have something good. If you know you are failing or you've fallen short in some areas, pick yourself up. It is never too late to go back to school. Pick up a course. Look out for professions that the world needs, right? That are in high demands. Start now and look at in the next 5 years, what would the world be needing? Because the world is fast evolving with technology, fast evolving. So don't leave yourself behind. Don't think you've got no other option. And if you know somebody that life is happening to, be kind. Be kind to the person. This next story, it's about someone who decided to live life on the fast lane. We have on our screen the notorious kidnapper called Lyon. John Lyon. Now, this is somebody in three phases. This is the one on the right, on the left, where he's wearing the white Senate. This is him living the life. It is said that this guy has orderlies, like he moves with security. This is someone that sprays dollars. This is someone that flaunts. Well, we are going to show you a story of that. And this is another phase of this man's life. This is somebody, he is the one in blue in church. This is somebody you see and you begin to ask yourself, God, she not be my mate be this, I be this one get to it, I be God, she you adopt me. You begin to compare yourself, you compare your spouse, you compare your brother with the likes of people like this. I think we should really stop this. Let's look at everything happening around us and give kudos to our brothers, our husbands, our fathers, our sisters, mothers who are doing, they might not have it all together, but they are doing the kind of business that makes them sleep at night. Now, this is a story of a man called John Lyon. John Lyon, popularly and also known as Ike Papa or Lion, is a Nigerian businessman and alleged kingpin. John Lyon is 36 years old, 36 years old, and he's from Cross River State. He's known to be a businessman and a kidnapped kingpin. Of course, his religion is Christianity. His net worth is about $50,000 to $100,000. So yes, of course, we are looking at a big boy. Before he came to limelight, for his kidnapping activities across the country, John Lyon was known as a socialite. He is a graduate from the University of Calabar. Few years after his bachelor degree, he worked for Sterling Bank before venturing into several other illegal businesses, including kidnapping. According to reports, Lyon interior orb as a cover-up for his many kidnapping activities. Recently, Lyon got involved in the kidnap of one Danjuma, a bank staff. It was revealed that he and his men successfully demanded over 50 million naira and has confessed to having committed the crime. Before his arrest, the kingpin is notorious for spending extravagantly in clubs. Pictures of him worshiping in a church went viral following his arrest. After his arrest, Lyon the kidnapper, in a viral video, confessed to participating in 2 kidnapping operations. Now, that's a brief about this person. Now, let's watch just a brief clip of this person.
Get money for this life. Hustle. What is happening? Yes. They always call about for job. The guy name is Milo. So please forgive
but this one, now your guy, you don't see what that must talk. Say you came and met him. Say you want to open your children account and not to monitor them.
So please forgive.
So you want to tell us saying only 2 people you don't join and go kidnap?
Yes, sir.
You're a liar.
Sir, forgive me.
Now this time I don't carry me. This face I dey see. I mean they lie down for chair like this. I don't see. Don't come out here. I see your face. They lie down koro. I go court. You now you be the first person where I go point out for court. You dey lie down koro for chair. When they carry me, they butcher me to die.
Yes, God. Sir, I don't know anything concerning your matter. I don't know.
Lie to lie. I dey see your face.
I don't know anything concerning your matter, sir. Please, forgive me. I beg, sir. Sir, forgive me. My wife just bought the boy and she's born.
Look at.
Break a leg. You would have forgiven him. And you look for forgiveness.
Forgive me, sir. Sir, please.
Crime no dey pay.
Yes, crime.
Kidnapper, you're fresh.
Fresh boy.
No, but this is not
Brother
funny.
Nice.
Brother Nice.
Brother
Let's
Nice.
start with you.
Brother Nice.
Wait till I say we are talking up for fresh like say tomorrow not day.
Real fresh
No, but-
boy. You see, when they tell people say, make una go hustle, you don't know they can't hustle where they hustle.
Right. Okay, Brother Nice, let's catch your reaction on that, and also a word of advice, or rather, what you've learned from this. Not a word of advice, what you've learned from this. We've shown you his life before he was caught. We've even shown you the spirit, the religious. I've never seen a kidnapper that is that religious, by the way. So, oh goodness gracious, what do you have to say?
Let me tell you, the most wicked people in society, they are the one that is supposed to be in church on Sunday service. Let me tell you, don't be deceived. You understand? I hate kidnappers with passion. Criminals, I hate them. You cannot go after what does not belong to you. To the extent that that greediness will push you to the extent that you will take someone's life. But what does not belong to you. I saw a video the last time. This man, they kidnapped this man, and this man still paid the ransom. After paying the ransom, some of them still decide that they will not let the man go. They cut the man head off. Those kidnappers. That one is there now, is begging. When you are the people that your victim, when you are dealing with your victim, you did not have sympathy for your victims. But now you are asking for forgiveness. So me, I don't have anything to say. Me, I'm a person that I always ask for second chance for people, but I don't ask second chance for kidnappers. You understand? They should face the law. Very simple. So this one is just a lesson. What I learned from here, never look at what people do or does. That you will say, okay, let me imitate this person. Let this person be my this thing, my what will I call it? Admire. Like all those people now today, Nobody admire a hardworking people anymore in our society. You will see somebody that is going to his daily job. People that are irregular people, nobody look at them anymore. People that is that are involved in crime, that is what our society emulate now. Yahoo boys, kidnappers, fraudsters, that is what they want to be like. You know, so this is a fast lane. All those fast lane, the hand is always the hand, yeah, is always a catastrophe. So people need to take life slowly, easily. Take life easy, you know, because God is one that bless the work of your hands. If now little thing if you involve yourself in little business, you are doing it, pray for God. God will enlarge in that business. But if you said no, that you want to be like somebody that is riding a flight, or somebody that is riding a Bugatti, you want to ride that same Bugatti when you don't have any hand job. You don't know how to turn one naira to 2 naira. Then you want to ride Bugatti. So just if the decision, when police will catch up with you or the law catch up with you, don't just ask for forgiveness. Just face the law. That's all. My advice to Nigerians: stay away from crime. Crime don't pay. If not, where you will find yourself. Don't come to social media and ask for forgiveness when the time comes. That's just my advice for everyone. You understand? This kidnapper, there is not only this one. There are a lot of them outside there now. They are watching this guy now. At the end of the day, they will still go ahead and start kidnapping. So it's a very, I don't know, it's greediness. People are very greedy. Don't want to work. Thank you.
All right, brother, nice. Thank you. Thank you. This comment is from Jacob Obidient. Says it is quest for quick money that puts some people in this heinous crime. Yes, quick money, living the fast life. I don't know how the youth, a young man of today, wants to, ride the same car like Otedola, like Dangote. It took these people years, to even come to where they are, and you want to do that. And I think we should also be talking to our people. We shouldn't wait till they fall into this trap. From time to time, you have a young man out there or a young woman. Talk to them. Take your time. Start now to invest. You enjoy it later. Not you are here. How much are you earning? You want to buy the latest, and what they say Lagos people are doing now. Lagos big boys, they are trading in their car for iPhone 14. I mean, why? We need to talk to each other on how to stop this craze for material things. Mr. Collins, please, let's catch your reaction to that video.
Sistema, when I look at that video, honestly, like Brother Nice said, one thing is just that most of us in Africa, and more especially in Nigeria, we have lost our cultural values. You understand? Nobody, all these moral values, nobody teach all those things again. So when you see something, everybody wants, like, we embrace people that is not even supposed to be recognized in a community. That is who we try to emulate. And not only that guy, is what is happening in the system. Look at the way government, you see, when we see our leaders today, somebody like Dino Menaye will come out and on Instagram, everybody will be cheering Dino Menaye. And people can't even ask Dino Menaye, where is all those money that government are giving to you for your own people? Those are the people that people cheer. People will come out and be singing praises about it without asking them questions. So when you see anybody that is living free, that is who people want to emulate. Nobody wants to ask questions anymore. So I tell you this story. I remember when I finished my service in 2015, something like that, 2015, and I went back to my state. Then there is this guy in my street. So I asked him, "Why are you not going to school today?" The guy asked me a question because that period I was trying to find a work. To be honest with you, this is not a joke. So the guy now told to me, he said, "Why should I ask him that question? So me that finished school, what am I doing? You understand? So what is the need of him going to school? You understand?" So that question really hit me very well. I really asked, as in when he asked me that question, Say he begin to point people that already graduated before me, people that already did their service before me. So he now asking me, say, this person, what is this person doing? So waiting school, who school help, those kind of stuff, So I kind of I went back to my house. I began to think about the whole thing the guy said. So at the time, I just have to take it to myself and said, well, there may be reason on what the guy is saying. So I have to like work hard and do some other thing that I have to. So that time I have to start a little business, which I can't be waiting for government to work anymore. So I have to find something to be doing. So sometimes some people want to get it now. Everybody want to get because of the frustration in Nigeria, because of the system, because the government have designed a lot of people have some. When I look at people in so many things, I blame them in everywhere because I believe that no matter how the situation is in Nigeria, there's still a way for you to survive. If you really want to survive, there's still a way, there's still a pathway for you to follow. So sometimes people will involve in so many things because of pressure. So if you can't be able to control the pressure, that is why you find some people. But for me, that shouldn't be an excuse because I believe when it comes to Nigeria, there are some other things that you can do without if when you finish school, if there's no a government job. That is why sometimes I campaign for this NYSC because I think that is one thing I hate in Nigeria, NYSC, because that 1 year is kind of a waste of year for people. My that period, I was suggesting that once he went for NYSC, after that 1 month in camp, that money that they're supposed to pay you for 1 year, give it to people that month. Give it, if 300 something thousand, give it to people. Some people will use that 300 something thousand to start a business. People can start a business with that 300,000. But leaving people to serve for 1 year, at the end of the day, nothing to justify about it. So the best option, unless people that are maybe wise, maybe around the service, they can find something big doing. Like for me, when I was posted in KB State, I have to find something. KB was close to Niger and Benin, so I have to start doing business, selling all these clothes for my female coppers. So, but not everybody have that idea. But if that 1 month you serve in camp and then give you that money, you went to your village, you can use it and start a oil business, all this kind of red oil, or even CD plate. People can even rent a CD plate, be selling CD plate on the street. But because of all those frustration, people now engage themselves in all manners of things. But looking at that boy, not only that boy, a lot of people have caused Nigeria youth so many things because you see on Instagram, people like when you see Obi Kubana, Chief Priest, all those things they keep doing on Instagram. It also is also killing some youth in Nigeria, but people don't know. Because when they keep spending all those cash, keep flashing all those things, you are intimidating people. And before you know, some people will begin to think in that direction. How did Chief Priest make his money? How did this person make it? So they want to do everything because you are showing them flashy things. So that is why sometimes when I enter online, I don't normally follow all those people. I try and look something that I will try to learn something from. So my encouragement to Nigeria youth is that when you look at all those people, don't follow them. Try to follow them because quick service, all those things you do, try to get more money. At the end of the day, when they begin to tell you how they be able to come about that money, you won't even believe it. So I am urging Nigeria citizens, try to work hard. When I mean work hard, put every effort, try to do something from what these people are doing. At the end of the day, trust me, our God is going to prove a way for you. That's my own thinking now for now.
All right, thank you for your submission, Mr. Collins. Yes, Mr. Collins.
Welcome.
Okay. Thank you for your submission, Mr. Collins. Mr. Chubuzo, let's catch your reaction to that.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
The young man you just display on the screen there. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that young man you just displayed there is. You can see that the kind of Nigerians living right now. Sometimes we blame the very person who commit the crime. We don't judge. Since 1966, since 1966 to 2002. Some people have been inactive in the government up to date. And many young men are graduating. They have no space in the workplace.
He's giving feedback. He's giving feedback. Everybody should off their mic, please. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, it's better.
Hello?
It's better now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Can you hear me now? It's okay.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay.
Mr. Chibuzo, Mr. Chibuzo, I think I'll come back to you. Just let's give it a minute. I'll come back to you, Mr. Chibuzo.
No, it's fine now.
Okay, go on then.
Okay. As I was saying, since 1966, a lot of people in charge of government has been inactive in the government. Up to date, a lot of young men have been graduating from university with all their degrees and academic careers. They cannot find a space in a working place. And when you look around, it's not everybody who have that business mindset. Not everybody. Some people are born, experienced, just to go to school, go to office work, and that is how they understand. Some people are built to do business. Teach them how to do business, they can carry on with it. So some people, you can teach them how to do business, they will still fold that business. That business will close completely. It's not going to work because that is not their passion. Their passion is to stay in office and do their job the way they want to do it. But anyway, what happened is lack of unemployment, the increment of unemployment in Nigeria have recycled people to become criminal. And we won't take this thing out from anybody. He's not the only one who is doing this. A lot of people are still doing it, remain uncaught. They're still roaming around the street of Nigeria up to now. It's just because they caught him, that's why we can be able to condemn him. But we don't ask the genesis of all this thing. I believe that very guy is a graduate. And his hope of going to school is when he graduates, he wants to work. If you give him a proper interview, you can see that young man, maybe he have finished, do whatever he can do to secure a job, but there is no hope for him. So Nigeria now building criminal.
Mr. Chibuzo, the story has it that he was an ex-banker. He was with Sterling Bank before he dropped the job to do this.
Yes, because of the money, because of the kind of lifestyle. It's not being a banker is the issue here. You can be a banker. How much is your salary? That is another question. How much is your salary? That guy.
So the place of contentment. You know, the other story we took, we say the government are not paying the police, well, that's why. And now this one, you have a job, and we are going to see how much a banker's earning.
All of them fall into administration. All of them fall into administration. Right now, if you ask that guy now, he doesn't have a house allowance, which make him responsible. He doesn't have a car allowance, which make him responsible to be serious in his job. Because if you don't have all these things, there's a lot of things that can make you change your mind. Because if you are a civil servant, for instance, and you secure a house, which you are paying for at the end of the month, maybe you got a car allowance, you are paying at the end of the month, believe me, it's very hard for you to engage in criminal practices. It's very, very hard. Before you do that, you need to think twice, because what you are looking for in life is shelter. That is the most important thing. And if you cannot secure this shelter, this is going to be a big problem. And that is what Nigerians, workers are facing right now, today, all over Nigeria. So if we cannot secure all these housing allowances for the workers of Nigerians, we are going to breed more criminals inside the society. Whether we like it or not, we can talk and talk and talk. If we don't secure this, because that will make you become responsible. There's a lot that attached to this thing I'm just telling you. If you have a house that you are paying for, it's very hard for you to engage in criminal activities. If you engage and you get caught, the chances of you losing everything is 99%. But now, if you have these things and you don't engage in criminal activities, you know that at least at the end of my job career, I will secure this kind of house. This is what I have worked for. But if we don't do this, a lot of things will come into our mind. A Yahoo boy can come into the bank with a bag of money. You say, I'm working in a bank for a very long time. I can't be able to secure even a tire of a car. No, let me just do something so that I can be like them. There's a lot of temptation going out there. So what I'm trying to say is, sometimes we blame all this guy. What he's doing is not a right thing. It's not a good thing in all over, even in the eyes of Satan himself. That is wrong. You don't need to kill somebody for you to possess his things, and they became alive at the same time. No, it's a wrong practice. What he did was a completely wrong thing. But government need to change the way the society think by creating more efficient and quality standard of living. That is what is making people running out of Nigeria, doing all kind of things out there. Inside Nigeria, the same application happening inside Nigeria. People are busy doing all kind of illicit things that will engage them into criminality or one thing or the other. Then they will end up like this. Then at the end of the day, we just put the blame on him. Look, that young man, his mind was not a kidnapping. He didn't go to kidnap people. He went to do something reasonable for his life. If I ask you now, that guy throughout his banking career before he joined kidnapping, I don't think that he can be able to build one block inside their own home. So that is why he changed his mind. You understand? There's a lot of things.
Mr. Chubuzo, whatever happens to having a side business, whatever happens to having a side business.
Yeah, that is what I just highlighted. What is that? Listen. Some people, you can give them $1 million to start up a business. That business will collapse because that is not what they are built for. Some people, when they went to school, if you went to school with other people, they will tell you, no, I want to secure an office job. I don't know how to do this business of a thing. That is their passion. They want everybody have their field where they specialize on. But right now, when you force people to do what they don't even know, they will fail, completely fail. So what I'm trying to say is, even though you give him money to go and do business, he may not be successful. It's not everybody who can be successful in business. So whatever he's doing, it's not a good thing. That kidnapping is out of question. There's nothing to justify all his wrongdoing. He did something completely wrong. But let us see the foundation of all this illicit behavior from Nigerians. This is where we capitalize and look into. If we are not doing all these things, blaming people, all these things will keep on coming back to us. Thank you.
I think Emma is having a network challenge.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I just said?
And we all heard.
We heard you, but Emma is having some kind of difficulty there.
The next person should
right.
go now.
Emma.
The next person.
Hello, Emma.
The next person should go. The next person.
Can I go, man of prestige? I think, is it my turn?
You can go on. I don't know me and you who is.
Man of prestige,
go on.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for the second time. Yeah, I wasn't preview to the video, so because I'm listening from a small device and I'm at work. But anyway, having said that, I think I got the gist a little bit what we are talking about. I think the last person, the person that spoke before the last person, I think his name is Mr. Colin. He just, enumerated, the epidemic of Nigerian youth when it comes to flashing and every kind of corruption and Yahoo boys. That's just what it is. I mean, after you go to school, because there's no work, the society, the government, there's no private section. So when I say providing work, it doesn't necessarily have to be from the government, but the Nigerian government has to provide the enable environment for the business to thrive, private industry, investment from foreign. But of course, that's not going to happen in a society like Nigeria, because I was reading something, I think it's called Oxford of Africa. Nigeria is the fourth the fourth country I think Nigeria ranked fourth as the where the investors refuse to invest in Africa. After I think Somalia, Zambia, I've forgotten the other two countries, that rank above Nigeria. But nobody wants to come to Nigeria to invest. That's a shame. In a big country like Nigeria, and we're supposed to be the giant of Africa, with our GPE being the highest in Africa. But what does that entail? That's just nonsense. You can't have anybody come here and invest. So that's where the problem is. I think the way I'm trying to land is that there's no opportunity for job. I mean, I'm privileged, that I didn't go to college in Nigeria. I'm not saying that's the right thing, but I went to college in overseas. So I didn't have that. I didn't have that experience they're having right now. I mean, I already got a job in my field, even on my undergraduate. Already have a job lined up for me because company came to my job. I mean, we have different companies, because I did engineering. We have different companies that came to my job looking for, oil company and everybody. So I already got a job before I finished my school, before I went to my higher education anyway. So that's the environment that is providing to Nigeria that's making everybody go. I'm not trying to make excuses, for everybody venturing into this Yahoo boss or crime or whatever. But that part of it, that's probably about 80% or, because the opportunity is there. Everybody's not going to be going. I'm not saying in other countries they don't venture into those crime, but it's on a smaller level. It's on a smaller level. So going back to talking about that guy, I didn't watch the video, so I don't really know. Yeah, that is terrible about somebody, being in that. You went to school, then you come back, pretending to be a priest or whatever, he pretend to be, but he's doing kidnapping. I mean, he's doing that to survive. I'm not saying he should do that. That's just part of the society. But you have a lot of those people in Nigeria, like they say Obi Kubana. I mean, I don't know how he make his money. I'm not saying Obi Kubana is into drug or whatever. I'm just using Obi Kubana as an example because there are so many of them. I mean, Hush Puppy, that did his in Saudi Arabia and something like that. So they have no excuse because he was in a better place. It's just the DNA in certain Nigerians because of the culture or because, what government has done to us or because of what the society, let me put it that way. So that doesn't really surprise me that somebody who's a graduate, I mean, graduate in Nigeria is nothing. I mean, in America, where I am right now, I mean, I think the minimum wage is $15 or $16. If you can't die, it's more than what some doctors. I think the doctors in Nigeria make highest doctors make about million naira or million naira plus. How much is that? That's nothing. So it's just the society that has corrupted the society. It become a culture in that society. And it's going to take a while to get us from where we are right now. I don't know what is going to, but I'm hoping in my own generation that will subside. Yeah, it's a pity. Well, I don't know what to say about the guy. I mean, he's not the only one. Because if you look, even people that go to church or whatever, probably Nigeria is the most prayerful country, that I know. I mean, I believe in God, I go to church. But they pay too much attention. I mean, I have niece in Nigeria. Every day they say they are going to church Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Do you all sleep in church? There's nothing wrong praying. But they're just using you. Look at Nigeria. They have about 3 or 4 people ranked in the top 3 or top 5 richest pastor in the world. A poor country like Nigeria. Oh, people, my brothers and sisters in this platform, it's just a pity. So I hope, hopefully one day, or when we get a new government, I'm not saying anybody coming in is going to be a messiah or whatever, but it's going to be a process to get at least to a reasonable level because we won't get where other countries have been. I mean, look at South Africa that we used to be, that used to, when I was going to school, I used to have South African teachers teaching in Nigeria. But look, it's what's happening right now. There has been exodus of Nigerians, all over. Where I'm in America, Nigerian doctors, if you look like in Maryland, Texas. I mean, you have more Nigerian doctors than any other country, even people in this country. We are well educated and everything. Everybody just live in that country just because of the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria. But my brothers and sisters, we just have to pray. Hopefully, this will be better, but it's gonna take a while. So thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you for your submission and apologies for the glitch earlier on. So I want to be clear where you stand. So who do you fault this on? Do you fault this on the government or on the individual?
Um, individual play a part because regardless of what kind of predicament, because when I came to this country, I have to flip burger. I mean, I have to do whatever is necessary, in order to find where I am right now. I mean, I'm in a good space right now. But
Right.
sometimes, people just go into because the situation is not right. You have to find a way to survive. You don't have to go into criminality to survive. So part of it is the people, the society. But part of it is when I say government, not just government. Government has to provide the enabling, the enable environment. So yeah, mostly government. Definitely.
Okay, thank you very much for
Mhm.
your submission. Is this Mr. Chooks or Man of Prestige?
It's man of precision, Emma. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Thank you, Man of Prestige. I want to take this comment from Pepper Them We Love. Pepper Them We Love says, I disagree with you, and sure that was for Mr. Chooks. You need to have the spirit of contentment. And Jacob Obedience says, some people in the country receive peanuts, but they don't take to crime. Therefore, criminality cannot be justified in whatever manner. There are lots of options out there. The problem is we just don't want to belittle ourselves by going to do these major jobs. We see ourselves to be, yes, you might have passed that level, but when life happens to you, you should not be scared, or you should not be too big to start life or all over again, because the end, there is a way that seems right, and you know that it is not right, but it just seems right. The end is always destruction. Whoever is listening to this, the law will catch up with you someday. Someday it will, and it's not going to be worth it anymore. I mean, look at him crying and begging, and even saying his wife just had a baby. Well, you are killing people and breaking people's leg. Are those ones not other people's children? And they should asking for mercy. Well, we know that in Nigeria, dealing with the Nigerian police, there's no such thing as mercy. It's either you are paying for your crime in time, or you are paying heavily in kind. All right, Mr. Goodman, let's catch your reaction.
Okay, thank you very much. And in my own case, I think it's a little bit of both. The individual, the guy is a greedy guy, and as well, the other part of it, the society contributes as well. Because the truth is, you are a product of your society. The truth, because when you look at your leaders at the top, they're stealing this kind of trillions of money, this huge money, and nothing is happening to them. So you think, okay, and you know that thing they do is it's criminal, it's a crime, and they are getting away with it. So you feel, okay, let me go into the crime as well and make money, because sometimes the society, if there's equity in Nigeria, maybe if it's balanced, I don't think many people will go into crime, no matter how little your money is. You'll be contented, because sometimes you will see these poor people, they get intimidated, especially by when, like, for instance, if you have a case with a rich man, even if the rich man is at fault, at the end of the case, you see the police will now take side of the rich man. All these things tends people to go into crime and say, look, I want to get rich so that I won't be intimidated in the society anymore. So sometimes the society influences the people to do what they do. If there's a balance, even yes, every society have rich and the poor, but at least let the law be neutral. When the law is neutral, you see that a lot of poor people will not want to go into crime, because they know if they are being stepped on their, if somebody step on their toes, no matter how rich you are, they will get justice. But when you don't get justice, you say, look, I want to protect myself and my family, so I need to get so rich that my family will be protected. So a little bit of, yeah, the guy is greedy. Why I say he's greedy, because the way he's flaunting the wealth, he's coming on social media to say, hustle, you want to get. So he knows what he's doing. That is a crime, that is greedy, because he's not content with what he has before. That's why he's going to that crime. That's why I say it's a little bit of both. It's a product of our society. Yes, I agree with the last people I said. Yes, the situation in Nigeria will push you into doing certain crime that you don't want to do. You understand me? Like we that is outside Nigeria. And it happens. You will see some Nigerians that have traveled out because of that mentality we have in Nigeria that we want to feel like lords. You see people that is outside Nigeria, they want to get rich quick. Even if the system doesn't permit them, you will see them coming to Europe or America. They go into crime immediately just to shit the money and send it to Nigeria because they know if they send that money to Nigeria, they build these big houses, drive these big cars, they become lords. People become to worship them. This is the society because the society worship riches, regardless of how you make your money. If the society is the way they don't recognize these people, you will see that people will not go into crime. That is just what I see about the thing. The guy is greedy, is coming to flaunt his wealth. If he's a poor guy, because he was working in a bank, so he doesn't have any excuse of going into crime. If he was working in a bank, he wants to be among the big boys. This is what they say, big boys. When these people like Obi Kubana, they come, they flaunt all this wealth, the big boys. They come into the club, they intimidate people. They have bodyguards here and there. Police are supposed to be guarding the whole of Nigeria, regarding just single person.
But how is that? How is that supposed to be intimidation? Can't people who have money, enjoy their money? Instead of you to aspire, work twice as hard, if you desire to express yourself in that manner, you put in the work as much as they do.
Why I say intimidation? Why I say it's intimidation? Okay, where Nigeria is now, we know Nigeria is not safe. Okay, now somebody like Obi, when I say as a citizen like me, is going around with police people that are supposed to protect me and Obi Kubana. But the policeman is concentrating on Obi Kubana alone. And me, I'm walking on the street, I'm looking front and back because I'm scared. Are you telling me it's not an intimidation? Intimidation is not my fault. Somebody come and slap me.
He's paying extra for that security. If you want safe, you pay for it and you will get it.
That is what I'm saying. The society is not supposed to make it so. So that guy now wants to be like that. He wants to start having his own security. And the bank money cannot give him that money to pay this policeman. So he wants to make the extra so that he will get that kind of money to pay those security. Because the society is not supposed to permit such a policeman should be guiding a private citizen. But when the society do it like that, to me that's working in the bank, and I want to protect myself as well. And my bank salary cannot make me get police people to protect me. I have to go into crime that will give me that kind of money. So yeah, I'll get police. So
if the country was to be a safe place, right, these elites or socialites will still have their security detail, from them being obtained or to restrict access to them. But you that is a banker, waiting police they secure you for, you don't have anything that anybody will be coming for. I mean this with all respect, though. I mean this with all respect.
You don't get my point. These people,
I don't.
They can get private. They can get Nigeria. Nigeria is not safe. If Nigeria is safe, let me tell you, those Obi Kubana will not be going out with security police. They won't. We have rich people here in Europe, very, very richer than Obi Kubana. They go to club, they enter train.
Mentality are not the same. Our mentality are not the same.
I'm telling you, the society. That's what I'm saying. The society makes the people. The society. It's not our mentality. It's the society that makes the people like that. The society where we live. Obi Kubana, if he comes to Europe here, in Europe here, he will not have bodyguard, he will not have police, he will not have anything. But why is he having it in Nigeria? It's the society, because the society, the government did not put safe environment for the citizens. And this boy, maybe he goes to the same club with Obi Kubana. Maybe he's giving people that if he's a banker, if he's being kidnapped, who will come to pay for him? Nobody. So he wants to make money to secure himself as well, so he won't be kidnapped. Like every other person. So the society,
all right,
because Israel is part of it. And in short, society is like 80%.
All right, Mr. Goodman, we need to move on. Thank you for your submission. Thank you to people who are here on the comment section. Johnson Emmanuel, good afternoon to you too. How are you doing? Happy New Week, my brother. Thank you for being here. Gerard Oba says they will hire private security, not hiring our police that is supposed to be serving and protecting the people. So, okay. All right. All right. Thank you for being here, each and every one of you. If you are just coming to the broadcast, hi, welcome. This is the chat on Ninja Watch. Do well to like this broadcast. Please, thank you. Share and invite someone onto the broadcast. And I hope that you have subscribed to our YouTube channel and also you have your notification bell turned on our channel. Thank you so very much. Guys, do well to support us by clicking on the dollar sign to the right in the comment section. Please do well to support us. It costs a lot to run this broadcast. Now, you know, now we always there here for one. So please do well to encourage us by liking and supporting us by clicking on the dollar sign to the right in the comment section. Joseph, how are you doing? Good to have you on this broadcast. Good afternoon. Johnson Emmanuel says, rich people, footballers also goes with security details abroad, not only in Nigeria. If you are just joining this conversation, we are talking about the flamboyant big boy who goes on the internet flaunting dollars and telling people, Ozulo. Well, he own Ozu don't bust. As if he say, best way they advise you, where they also legit also, where they tension you, now kidnapper in be. And now he is pleading for mercy. Mr. Vine Maxwell.
Thank you so much, Sister Emma. You see, why do people, flaunt around P2B today? It's because P2B said, when they asked him about corruption, how he's going to tackle corruption, P2B said, if him as a president, his family, and all his relatives are not stealing money, you reduce corruption by 50%. There is no way we will talk about these issues, the vices, the social vices that we have in Nigeria today, that it is not hinged around the inefficiency of the government of the day. Way back 80s and 70s, you've never had this multiplicity of crimes that is going on in Nigeria today. And the temerity at which they carry out all these, dastardly acts. It is never seen, it is never heard. In the 70s, 80s, at least I can testify to that because I lived there within the 70s and 80s and early 90s. Most of these things that we are talking about today weren't there at the time. If the federal government has done their own part, at least these social vices, Sister Emma, and anybody that is listening to us today will be reduced drastically. And as they are setting out a very, credible environment of society, they will be bringing out measures to tackle most of these, social vices like kidnapping, armed robbery, whatever. But they have failed. I am not a proponent. When I was in the military, I am not a proponent of any kind of crime. And I detest armed robbery. I detest kidnappers. Okay? But that is not to say that the government has no hand in what is happening in Nigeria. If the government gets Nigeria working, there will be no excuse for anybody to engage in any crime in that country. Thank you. That's my submission.
All right, Mr. Vine, thank you for your submission. Mr. Chooks, apologies for that. Please, let's have your submission, sir.
Okay, thank you, Emma, once again. I'm going to start this way. I think it's a bit of both, because I'm answering the question you asked, whose do we think is their fault? Both the individual and the government. And when I say government, the inclusion of the society. The quality of education matters. I had a speaker who said that before he finished his university, the job is already waiting for him, not provided by the government. Instead of those who said that some people are meant to do white collar job. There's nobody that is meant to do white collar job. I mean, when they say white collar job, we used to mean government job. No, if they have a proper education, the universities will teach them, including they will discover your talent. If you are a hands-on person, right, they channel you towards that. If you are somebody who is good in writing, if you are somebody who is good in documentation and all sort of things, they make sure that you follow that lane. Now they invite companies to work with the school, whereby you are sent sometimes to these companies to go and showcase your talents. That's what happens where I'm living today. And you see, when these people are concentrating doing this, there's no time, because once they come out, they will have something doing. That's why, some of them, they are in universities, they got other trainings that when they come out, they don't have to wait until they get something related to what they actually studied. If you are so good, the companies will come in and pick you before you even finish your education. They will be on your case before you finish your education. So all these things are what is lacking in our education. So that is where the government comes in. Poverty is another thing. We can never discard poverty in this case. That is not to excuse what he did or what they're doing. What do I mean by poverty? The time parents spend with their kids these days are very little. The moms are working now, the dads are working. Where do you find the kids? On the street. I remember me going home. I went home 2010. And, there are a couple of kids, in front of our building. And I was asking them, what do you want to be if you grow up? I think the highest is 10 years. Some of them said politicians, some of them said musicians. You're hearing things you don't hear while we're growing up. Because during our time, most times, our moms are at home bringing us up. That is not to say that I'm blaming the moms these days, because the harsh economic condition had made it necessary for them to hustle too. They are in the marketplaces. They are everywhere. And again, the society contributed in that. Because while we're growing up, another person can discipline you. But right now, it's not the same. Because when their father or their mother come back, they will come after you for disciplining that child for doing something wrong. In that space, we have lost a bit of our culture because we want to live like the Europeans, but not equipped as the Europeans. That is the problem. The society has a massive role to play, because when you see the likes of Obi Kubana, see the likes of Wizkids, all these men who use securities, like the previous this thing says, they will be, thinking, oh, I want to be like them. And you hear from them like this human being, he is online telling you to hustle. Did he tell you how to hustle? He is thereby sending you direct message, not indirect. Because if his hustling is genuine, he will be showing it off there, telling you how you can do it too. So that is the part of the problems we're facing. The government cannot hands up on this. The individuals cannot hands up on that. I know while growing up, you make some, your mom or your dad sees something that doesn't belong, they didn't buy for you, or doesn't belong to that household. They question you. But today, they not only have it on their body or on their feet, they also buy for their parents, and no question asked. So that is the society we have today. A lot of things needs to change. The government need to come in with programs. They need to know that these things are happening. They need to find out why and try to tackle it. It happens everywhere in the world. It happens everywhere in the world. There was a time in UK here, knife crime is all over London. They have to find answers to it. And how do you find answers? You look at the issue. What could cause this? So I'm saying, everybody listening, both the government, both the people, both the society, they need to understand that we need to work together. The schools, they need to improve the system of our education. It's very, very important, because when the private sectors can't work together with the colleges and the universities, then we'll have a problem. We all know this. We have a problem because there's no way we will expect them to just come out of university and get a job.
All right.
I know I had somebody who came out of a university, was looking for bank work, and I said, "Hello, sister. You said you did a program while in a university, catering." She said yes. I said, "Why don't you, cook? Mama put it in front of your building. Print a business card. Anybody that comes there, because you can cook, to buy food, right? You look at the person is matured enough, and you see him as somebody who might be needing something. Take that card and say, hey, this is my job. I cook in wedding. I cook that. Advertise yourself. You can become massive there. These are the kind of things you get from universities. These are the kind of trainings they give you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your submission, Mr. Chooks. Thank you. All right. Let's take a few comments here in the comment section before we move on. Johnson Emmanuel says, most rich people in Nigeria, their wealth have questionable origin. And Ophili Monye, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Says, Nigeria is a disaster now. Vote Obi, let's redirect Nigeria and save generation next. I mean, if the government is being called out on this one, how shall we that the obese government will not be called out for someone's, lack of contentment? That's the only way I see it. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm the only one, seeing this in this perspective. I was thinking probably someone would say maybe family pushed him, some family, they just put pressure on young men out there. I feel for the men out there. Yes, I do, because it's a whole lot to shoulder, especially right now with the country, with everything that is going on. A man just has to work twice as hard, than before. So, but going all the way to bring the government into this, please, someone needs to make me see reason in that direction. Johnson Manuel says, if EFCC investigates rich people in Nigeria, the prisons will not contain them. This display of ill-gotten wealth has put people like Hush Puppy into trouble, and this one that is being discussed followed suit. All right, Johnson Manuel, thank you for your submission, and thank you to you that just came into this broadcast. Welcome to the chat on Niger Watch. Thank you for being here. We are talking about the kidnapper. The recent one, the also kidnapper, the motivational speaker. Can you imagine? Una we get legit also make una just the manage una self they go. You guys will get there someday. Keep at it. Mr. Tunaija, good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Yeah, good afternoon, Emma, and greetings to everyone on the panel, the chat, and the viewers. I hope everything is okay on your end.
Yes, Mr. Tunaija, thank you.
Okay, that's good. I guess this topic is an interesting one. Everybody generally has spoken well about this. Some people say it has to do with poverty, others culture, and for me, I gravitate towards culture more. because the Indians are poor too. You don't see them doing the crazy things we do. They were way poorer than us. If anything, they still probably still have even more poor people than us, and they don't go to this level of actions that we take. And I think that cultural aspect is a strong one, because I speak to people sometimes in Nigeria and go on about how people are building stuff. Some people come from Germany, they buy this car, buy this house. This one is buying this one for his grandmom. Nobody asks where the money is coming from. And I don't understand how people got here. I really don't. That one, that's on us. Nobody did it to us. We did that one to ourselves, where it doesn't matter where the money comes from. It's all, it's all good. Let's just do whatever it takes to get as much money. And for what purpose? It's almost like it has no purpose, because many of this money that people steal, they go and use it to build house, and sometimes they go end up over, their children go overseas and their houses are empty, and there's so many houses empty over there. The other day somebody was saying, hiring people to come and cut the grass and kill snakes because so many empty houses that nobody's living in. So we have lost sight of what is truly important in life. So people assume that just because you have TV, your life is better. No, it's not necessarily because of those make your life better. It's the kind of quality of life in terms of how healthy you are, how educated you are, how clear-headed you are. You are not being indoctrinated by other people, and your culture reinforces quality things that are useful to your people. Because what we are doing now is mobile phone. The mobile phone is going to expire next year. You're going to need another mobile phone. The latest sneakers, listen, all those things are transient things that just fades within years. The important things are the things you build upon, and you can build and get bigger from there. We don't have that culture of doing that. We just have a culture of, oh, this guy exploded, he's got a lot of money, and we praise him, whether he got it through the bad way, whether through good way. We don't care. We just care about this in the end, this is the result. And I think that's something maybe I don't know what the churches are doing, because we have so many churches. The churches are even worse now, because they too started doing this prosperity gospel and all this nonsense. That okay, maybe that's where all these things came from. Where they don't care. Yeah, maybe that's where all this things came from. Because he just, I saw a lady once, and oh my God, that day I was shocked. And we're coming out from a church. Oh, hey, see, we're coming out from a church. One official used to work for Shagari. This guy he wasn't corrupt or anything. And guess why she was mad with him? She was mad with him because he didn't steal any money. He didn't make himself rich. And you need to see the insults. She was insulting the guy in our language. I was like, oh my God. How is that a bad thing to be? To actually offer your service to the country in good faith. The guy's not running around watching his back today. He is peaceful. He's lived this life, and he served these people well. Why are you bad mouthing so that tomorrow the next person is going to go and steal? And that is what we are getting now. The culture is, and I have to put it that, say, when we point fingers, sometimes both men and women are at this, and the women too should be asking themselves what they allow, what they glorify. Because you see guys and you don't care where they get them from, and you just say, okay, it's okay as long as he's got the money anyway. Tomorrow, some other person is going to do it, and your children are going to grow up in that world that you just help create. And then you get this guy, and we are surprised. This is the generation, and to be fair, that generation that came just after independence and the one that came after that, they were really, really messed up generation, because they saw the Nigeria do very well. They had free education, free this, free that, and somehow they become entitled. And the way they think about the world is about, oh, let's raise our children to get whatever they want. And no, you don't know when you are poor anymore. Any woman that lives in a house knows that, okay, this is how much Oga gave me to cook food. This is what we are going to do. The Oga knows how much he earns, and he knows how much he's going to release. But we don't seem to care whether we have the money or not. The problem we have is that our nation is relatively poor because our money is being stolen. If we don't stop the if we don't stop the money being stolen, how are we going to get out of this mess we are in? They are stealing our money every day. If you live in a house, they are stealing your money, you are going to find a way to block it. Either a hire security guard for your and put iron bars on your door. You will put everything. But we as a nation, we refuse to demand that these things are fixed. And culturally, we have to change, and we have to plug the hole that is causing us to be poorer. Because in the end, when people are poor, you know, there's only as much as you expect culture to take care of. You still have an element of corruption and greedy behavior like this. But I really think cultural one, it doesn't cost us anything to fix that one. We should discourage people, and we shouldn't be praising people just because they are rich. How did he get it? Look at Tinubu now. We don't know the way he got rich was not honorable. And to be fair, most people rightfully are calling him out on that on this channel. And but how many people care about that when he goes and gives them how many million up or how many million when something happens? You know, nobody's telling him, where did you get all this money from? I don't know what you are doing to get all this money. And then you go to the other one, I think it was Ayade that went to a church the other day, want to go and donate money, and the church pastor told him, you know what, go and use it to pay your staff, your workers. You know, these our leaders. How can a governor have money in his pocket? People are striking, and he goes and donates money to a church. Goodness gracious. I can't imagine a psyche that does that. How did we get here? You owe people money and you want to donate money to a church. It's like he doesn't even see the contradiction, the immorality of it all. Completely lost sight of it, and somebody just reminded him. And believe you me, most of our churches with that money, they wouldn't even ask. This is a cultural decay that we need to start fixing. All these so-called Christian leaders, Muslim leaders, I don't know. I don't know whether this is the same for the North. You see that I don't know. You know, most of this stuff we see tends to come from the South. This type of behavior, I'm not sure it's the same in the North, so I can't exactly include them in this decay. You know, they too have their own issues that they need to address. But if this is only in the southern region, then we really need to start thinking about
what about people that is kidnapping people in the north? Are they not the same in the same Nigeria? So they are it's everywhere.
It's a cultural thing. The ones that are kidnapping people is more recent where they started doing it. What I'm talking about is a cultural thing where you insult people that live upright this in life, that don't go and steal from government, that do their job the way they are meant to do it. You know, the earlier when you were talking about the drug heist that they took, you know, I was praising those people because this is something we forget, that there are a lot of people, a lot of good work in Nigeria, keeping the country together, doing a lot of jobs that they risk their life to do. That was a lot of money. Those police officers could have taken up and become very, very, but they chose not to do it because after they do it now, what will the country become? Tomorrow, drug will be everywhere, or more of these drug barons will be using Nigeria as the mule that they're going to be using to ship their drugs.
All right,
and it's to be safe for us.
That's as much as I can take from you on this. I'll be coming back to my panelists for their 1 minute submission. But for the sake of those that are just joining us, welcome. I see the numbers shooting up. Welcome to the chat on Niger Watch. My name is Ima. It's good to have you here. We are talking about, yes, we spoke about the biggest or the historic cocaine bust that happened in Nigeria sometime last week, and also about this young, fine-looking, promising man who ends up being a notorious kidnapper. His name is David. Some call him David Lyon, some call him John Lyon. We don't even know which one to go by. I'll be replaying this video for you should you just be coming in, so you have an idea of what we are talking about. Please watch this.
Get money for this life. Ozu. What is happening? Yes. They always call about for job. The guy name is Milo. So please forgive
but this one, now your guy, you don't see what that man talk. Say you came and met him. Say you want to open your children account and not to monitor.
So please forgive.
So you want to tell us saying only 2 people you don't join and go kidnap?
Yes, sir.
You're a liar.
Sir, forgive me.
Now this time, now don't carry me. This face I they see. I mean they lie down for chair like this. I don't see. Don't come out here. I see your face. They lie down koro. I go court. You now you be first person where I go point out for court. You they lie down koro for chair. When they carry me, they butcher me to die.
Sir, I don't know anything concerning your matter. I don't know.
Lie to lie. I dey see your face.
I don't know anything concerning your matter, sir. Please, forgive me. I beg, sir. Sir, forgive me. My wife just burst the boy has seen God.
Look at.
Break a leg. You would have forgiven him. And you look for forgiveness.
Forgive me, sir. Sir, please.
Crime no dey pay.
Is he responsible for any death?
So it said in the initial interview, you know, these people have a way of, I think the early stage, they just keep talking there. When they meet with a lawyer, they tell them, okay, you have to be careful of the things you say. So we hope that there's no back and forth on that. But yes, he said so far that he has only carried out 2 operations. But this man was saying that he has been involved in another one that had to do with him, and they almost killed him. That was what he was saying in the video. Well, that is the man. That is the story so far. Let's see if we have a couple of messages to take here. Okay, so how do we curtail this at the end of the day? How do we curtail this? Because do we stop the musicians from singing this song? We should have a body that censors this thing, but I don't know, they are not working. So if that is not working, how do we protect our brothers, our sisters, our fathers, our husbands, our wives? How do we protect them from, you know, falling into this or becoming one of this? But nice. This would also be your last submission. So, okay, Mr. Collins.
Okay, yeah. For me, I just want, there's a question to Niger Post there that I really wanted to address. You know, when I said about NYSC, when I mean that shouldn't be that, as in 1 or 2 things about it, I'm not saying that you should remove. What I'm saying that 1 year that people spend, if you go in South Korea, most of them serve 1 month or 2 months. You understand? So you say that they should include military. You can include that military train under 1 month. Nobody's arguing about that. You can post people, integrating people to unite about Nigeria. It's cool. If you then post you in KB, the same thing, you are also integrated to what about to one Nigeria. But what I'm saying, get where I'm coming from. All I'm saying that 1 year that people spend, can't you cut it short like 1 month or 2 months so that money that you are meant to pay people 19,000, because when I do my service it was 19,000. So you're paying people every month 19,000 for 1 year. So can't you gather that money and give them in 2 months after they finish from that camp? So people can start life from that place, because if there is no, if like a 1 year now, imagine when you are serving in 1 month, before 1 month, you already spend your Alawi money. But imagine when you are giving that money once you left camp.
And Collins, please go to the topic. Please go to the topic. We don't have much more time. Okay. Please, the topic.
All right. What I'm about this, there's nothing much we can do. All we just have to do, we try to make sure that no matter any situation you find yourself, all of my encouragement is that you can still find a solution in that solution. You can find something that you can do that can impact you in a positive way, not in a negative way. So, and any way you find yourself, try as much as you can to make the opportunity in a good way, not in a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, there is nothing you do that will justify, maybe because you are poor or because of the situation of Nigeria, cannot justify somebody being kidnapped or somebody killing people. It cannot justify it. So, all I'm just turn anything in a positive way. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chooks.
Thank you once again. You know, I just want to use this opportunity to tell people to, you know, remember that the culture we are trying to emulate, they got their differences and they got everything they need to carry out their own culture. You know, we still need to, you know, make sure that we keep ours intact, because our culture, I don't believe is on those ones that say go and do Yahoo, go and do drugs and all that. You know, like I said, growing up, you know, even if it's not your parents, any elder can discipline you and you learn from that. And even you beg them not to even let your family know, you know. So all those things are things I see that is not happening as is supposed to happen. you know. So I pray that we will come back. Nigeria, we will come back stronger. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Chubuzo, if you're still with us, please give your submission.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Oh, my submission is we need to be very careful with our government because we don't.
Mr. Chubuzo, I'm sorry, there is this static feedback from your end. Please fix that.
Okay.
I'll come back. Okay, go
Yeah.
on, go on. It's better.
Yeah. What I'm just want to add on this is let every Nigerian not forget that when the government fall, the people fall. When the government rise, the people rise. So I blame government in everything that is happening to Nigerians today because they are the one who's supposed to give us the position that we're supposed to follow. Because we keep on blaming the young man, whatever atrocity he's engaging in, it's okay for him. And that is where he finds his fortune. And nobody can deprive him of that. So that is a situation, whatever, however we blame him, that's the position he finds himself. So the government are the cause of all the evil act happening in Nigeria. Believe it or not, when government fall, the people fall. When the government rise, the people rise. That's my take for now.
All right. Thank you for that, Mr. Chibuzo. And thank you for being on this broadcast. Mr. Van Maxwell.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to comment on the man that was speaking at the background. There is no strong or very professional kidnapper that will kidnap you and leave his face open for you to see him. Once you see their face, they will kill you because they will not spare you. So I have my reservation on the man that was speaking at the background. Now, what I said earlier on is this. I am not a proponent of one Nigeria. If P2B said, if you believe that P2B is the right person to handle this, problem in Nigeria, please do it without looking back. He said that the problem of Nigeria is not Nigerians. P2B said that. I've heard him made, this comment severally. The problem of Nigeria is not Nigerians. It's not the people. It's bad leadership. If you get it right from the top to bottom will be correct. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Van Maxwell, and thank you for being on the broadcast. Thank you to each and every one of you for joining our broadcast always. We do not take your time and your presence here for granted. Thank you for being interested in the affairs of our country. Thank you for always coming to this roundtable where we dissect issues and witty submissions too. Thank you so very much. Let's do well to share this broadcast, invite people the same way that all the knowledge that we are getting on here, we need to spread it like wildfire. This is about a time when Nigerians need to be educated by force. Well, the force might not be necessary because everyone is wants to know what's happening. So isn't it better they come to a right source or a channel that is not bankrolled by the government but by the people? And that's why we always clamor for you guys to support us, with publicity and financially also. Your support, your donations, they go a long way. They truly do go a long way. Thank you to everyone on this broadcast. Rita Adams, Unstoppable, thank you for being here. Bella Naomi, how have you been? Thank you for being here. Mommy Diaspora, mommy of all mommies, thank you on behalf of each and every one of us. I dare to say, we are saying thank you and we love you always, dearest mama. Thank you. Jeku Obedience, thank you for being here. Johnson Emmanuel, thank you for being here. Thank you. Ophili Moye, thank you for being here. Ashiegbu Collins, thank you for being here. James Tippins, thank you so much for being here. Michael, I see you right there. Thank you for being here. Thank you also to who is here. Big Uyi. I smiled when I saw your comment. How are you doing, Big Uyi? Good to see you on here. Kinsley, thank you so very much for being here. Joseph, I say thank you. Gerald, thank you to each and every one of you. Mr. Tunanja, please.
Yes. You asked a question, please. There was a question you asked me. Can you myself. There was a question you asked. Please, Adam, can you ask it again because I can't remember it fully.
Well, if you give me an idea of what that question was, then I'll be able to remind you of the question.
It might have something to do with this thing, something what we are supposed to do to. Okay, I don't know. I think I've lost that one. let's
Curtail this.
let's.
How do we curtail this? Because the society is still the society, the government is still the government. So people with money will still be people with money. So how do we curtail this for the younger ones?
We'll have to start with honoring acts of people that are learning and contributing their best to society, people that are upstanding, not deceitful, and doing what they, in other words, having integrity. We have to reward that, not because now I think we've equated integrity to money now, and when money becomes integrity, then you get this type of decay. Because everybody, if you value everybody's contribution, if it's a fisherman, you value their contribution. When they are in a meeting, they want to talk, you let them talk just as the guy that has a five-star hotel, whatever. Because if you start degrading the one that is not rich just because he's not wealthy, then everybody is just going to wealthy for the sake of it, not necessarily because it serves any purpose. You see what I mean? Like this guy now, what he's doing doesn't serve any purpose other than anarchy, but he wants to be rich because he thinks that's what you need to do in this world. What I found in some of the studies that I've done in terms of while I was being educated, what people prefer, what people cherish, or men, I don't know about women, what men cherish that are in such field, they cherish people to recognize them for what they do, their professional excellence, and the recognition of their peers. That is what people value more than money. In not a society that is functional, that's what it should be. Because if you value too much, if you are going for money as the be and end all, then it doesn't matter what you do then, does it? You can go for anything, steal money, do everything. So that type of culture is what we want to return to. I think we used to have it before. I remember when we were growing up, and you can have all kinds of money, but people will just be looking at you like funny because they feel like the way you got the money wasn't very good. Now all that is out of the window. Even if they find out they are selling human body parts, it will be all right. So we need to change that culture. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tunanja, thank you. Thank you for your submission. Guys, I hope you are listening. I hope you're learning, and I hope you're unlearning too. Thank you. Innocent, I see you too, my brother. Thank you for being on this broadcast with us. We have one more person in the studio, Mr. Charles. Hi, Mr. Charles. How are you doing?
Well, Mrs. Emma, how are you too?
Well, Mr. Charles, okay, so this is where you give your 1 minute submission.
Actually, I've not been following, but if it is concerning the picture I am seeing,
concerning the kidnapper?
Yeah, is that what we are talking about here?
Yes, sir.
Well, I have nothing much to say concerning this. The only thing I only say, all these things is as a result of bad government, because most of the times it's true that there's no reason to justify evil, but most people get into all this because those who did it in the past, nothing happened to them. Honestly, that's why people are going into it. Because if there is consequence for whatever you did that is wrong, I think people will be afraid to go into crime. At least somehow. Government is into crime, so what do you expect the ordinary citizens to do? Tell about government, they're the cause of all this. That's the only thing I have to submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles. Thank you for being on the broadcast, and thank you for your submission. You guys, I hope take our time to go through the comments on the comment section. There are lots of powerful insights there. Don't just hear the panelists. Read the comments. So people are dropping nuggets. Yes, that you should see. Thank you. Thank you. All right, this is Bella Naomi saying, in my own opinion, live your life and let's live. I can't go into crime because of someone else. I give what I can. I cannot go and steal to be like others. You know what happens to things like that? And if I want to make that money, I begin to think of business. Let's just do better, please. Yes, and Madam Rita talked about family values, you know, the decadence of family values. Yes, and parents, we need to do better. The idea of not caring or minding whatever it is that your child is doing, we need to start asking some serious questions, and we should be ready to say no and turn our backs on anybody who, you know, who has questionable source of income or wealth overnight. We need to begin to ask all of these questions. Thank you for being here with me. We have come to the wrap of the chat. Do well to join the rest of our programs. We have the newspaper review Monday through to Saturday, 10 a.m. Nigerian time to 11, and we have the chat Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Nigerian time, all through to 3 p.m. Nigerian time. We have discussions every Monday to Thursday, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. We have the debate where we go head to head. Debate is every Friday, 6 p.m. Nigerian time. We have Sunday broadcast too. Guys, do well to turn on your notification bell so for every time Niger Watch goes live, you would be notified. Thank you so very much. And this is me still appealing to you guys to endeavor to support us on our every broadcast from time to time, please. Thank you so very much. I probably won't be, we definitely won't be making this appeal or announcement if we're being bankrolled by maybe the government, as some media houses are. So you see, for us to keep it this way, where we can bring anybody to our table and dissect and drag them and call them out with our full chest, there are also responsibilities to that one, guys. So please join us. Let's join us together and allow this media to thrive. Thank you for encouraging us with publicity and finances. Thank you so very much. Thank you for taking our time to also share our work and invite someone on here. Thank you. We are here because of you, so thank you for encouraging us in all that you do. Also saying a big thank you to those in the comment section and to those who take our time to be among the panelists. I say thank you to my panelists. You guys do so amazing. You guys are always here. A big thank you and a big shout out to you guys. I'll be off the screen in no time, but do not forget to join us by 5 p.m. Nigerian time with Kachi to discuss what is happening in Nigeria. Until I come your way again, stay safe. Bye-bye.